Welcome back to Coffee and Tea with CarrieVee. I'm CarrieVee, your biggest fan. I am the person who is going to believe in you always, even if you don't believe in yourself. This podcast is all things leadership, communication, confidence, clarity. This podcast is all things life. And today we're talking about midlife and beyond confidence because I started looking at things and thinking about things about confidence in midlife. And then it dawned on me like, I'm 60. So I'm not really midlife unless I live to 120, which is okay with me as long as I am healthy and vibrant and still doing what I'm doing now, but I'm probably not going to. So, really, I think maybe I'm in my golden years. So, let's call it midlife and beyond, even into your golden years, confidence. Midlife and beyond, midlife and to the end, confidence, because confidence changes as we get older. It looks very different from the way I looked at confidence when I was much younger. And I wish that I had always looked at confidence this way. So no matter what age you are listening to this, whether you are in that midlife and beyond category and you're like, "Ooh, let's look at this." I also want you to pass this along to the younger women in your life. I have the amazing privilege of coaching a lot of younger women, and this is what I'm bringing to them now because I want them to have this sense of confidence now in their 20s and 30s. I want them to embrace this attitude now. You see, most I wish that all women would talk about these things openly because confidence becomes really powerful in midlife. And there is no reason it can't become powerful much, much sooner than that. I mean, growing up, we're really taught to fear aging from the media, from commercials, from social media. We're all taught to fear aging. We're told we have to stay young, look young, act young, don't age visibly. Of all things, do not gain weight, don't become irrelevant. And it's all this pressure, and our confidence is built on trying to attain those things, which really, some of them are really not possible. We are all going to age, and aging does show up on our bodies. We're not going to ever turn back the clock and look 25 no matter what we do, no matter what products we use, no matter how many facelifts we get. There's always going to be a sign of aging somewhere on our bodies. That's called aging, and it is inevitable. Thinking old, we've talked about this before. That's a mindset. But that's not what we're talking about here. We are taught as women to never age. Men can age gracefully. Women are supposed to not age. But what most people don't ever tell us is that there's freedom that comes with getting older. That is really truly like it's so amazing and unbelievable. There's this amazing freedom. And a lot of women discover it themselves later in life because they finally stop performing. And I really think that is part of the perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopausal journey. We go through so many changes. We didn't sign up for it. We were born with a ticket to this event of perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. We don't want that ticket, but it is coming. You are going to cash that ticket in. You've got it. You're holding it in your hand. If you are younger, you're holding it in your hand. If you're older, you've already cashed it in. You didn't want to. You didn't want it, but you come with it. But with that comes a realization that we stopped performing. Things really do change. People say, man, menopausal women are so outspoken. It is because our bodies change so much and we go through so much. And by that point in our life, we have faced so many things. Many of us in that stage have not only cared for our children, but our aging parents at the same time. We may have already watched our parents age out. There is nothing that I have experienced that is more painful than watching a brother, a grandmother, my favorite aunt, my mother, and my father all pass away. That is a pain that takes over and just makes you realize it's like almost like it washes your brain and you realize, wait a minute, life doesn't go on forever. And I'm not putting up with all this stuff I have put up with all my life. And we never should have put up with them. That was the realization I had. And that's why I started looking into really coaching younger women because I don't want you putting up with it now. If you're younger, stop putting up with it. So let's talk about this. Confidence in my younger years looked like it was tied to validation, approval, appearance, proving myself, being liked, and not upsetting anyone. That's exhausting. Listen to that list again. Validation, approval, appearance, proving myself, being liked, not upsetting anyone, never upsetting the apple cart, walking on eggshells, absolutely exhausting. A lot of women spend decades shape shifting, trying to become acceptable. I'm putting that in air quotes for those of you who aren't watching this. A lot of women spend decades shape shifting, trying to please others, trying to become more acceptable. We're always trying to say the right thing, look the like way, be low maintenance, not be too much, not disappoint anyone. Oh my gosh, again, something so exhausting. And someday everything shifts. That journey of our shifting hormones shifts our mindset. We hit a point where we realize I'm just not willing to spend the rest of my life abandoning myself to make everyone around me feel comfortable. That realization changes everything. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life trying to make everyone else feel uncomfortable and completely ignoring the things that I was put on this earth to accomplish. It is mind changing. It is life changing. I believe, if you listen to me, I am faith-based. I believe God has us all here for a purpose. And women especially, we spend so many years shape-shifting, trying to please everybody else, that we almost never get to what we truly want to do. We need to help the younger women embrace this message right now. Because that realization changes everything. I am not saying to become haughty or to become unempathetic. I'm not saying to become unfeeling. I'm saying that you get to take care of others while you take care of yourself. We realize that in midlife. Let's help the younger crowd realize it now. Let's move back to this midlife realization, because midlife confidence, that hits different. It feels different. It's quieter. It's quieter. It's more grounded. It's a whole lot less performative. It moves from look at me to I know who I am. That's very different. I know who I am, and you don't get to take who I am from me. You don't get to take who I am from me. I care less now about impressing people than I ever did before. I care far less about impressing people than I ever did before. I want to please the creator who put me on this earth. And he gave me purpose. And that's the purpose that I am living and trying to live better and better every single day. I care more about peace. I care more about alignment and authenticity. I care more about my energy, meaningful relationships, and purpose. Those are the things that I care about now. I want to be authentic all the time. I don't want to not confront people when they say or do something that has hurt me. Whether it was an intentional thing or not, I want to confront them and talk it out. This is how I find out who my real friends are, because those who are my real friends will want to sit down and talk about it. And I would want them to do the same thing to me always. We are human beings. Guess what? We say and do things sometimes that hurt other people in our lives without ever meaning to. And if no one ever comes to us and says, hey, that thing you said, I know you didn't mean it to hurt me, but it really did hurt me. Could we talk about it? Guys, that is so much growth. That is something we can be doing our whole lives, but we're taught to be nice. Don't say anything. Don't upset the apple cart. No, upset the apple cart. Upset the apple cart. Because you're not really going to upset the apple cart if the person you're talking to is truly also mature and wants to talk about these things. Peace comes from diving into conflict management. Peace comes from speaking your mind kindly, but firmly. Peace comes from being in alignment with what your purpose is, from being authentic. Guys, there's so much AI going on out there. And I see pictures of people that are they've so AI generated it, so put on so many filters. I'm all for a good filter that puts a little bit of glow on your cheeks or something. But when you go changing your whole face and erasing 20 years of wrinkles, guys, that's not authentic. And then when people meet you and you look very different than the way you portrayed yourself in a fake AI picture, that's not authentic. People will not trust you. Show up as who you are. Give yourself a little sun glow. I don't care. Take 20 years off your face. That's not authentic. And we see it more and more and more. I have to get a drink because I'm getting all like so passionate about this. Social media has made aging pretty weird for women, because women are constantly being shown all the filters they can use. We just talked about this, filters that can take decades off your life. decades off your face. They get off your face, not your life. They take decades off your face. You can give yourself a waistline, which is much more defined than the one you actually have. What's wrong with the one you have already? It's unrealistic body standards. It's anti-aging obsession and fixes for every wrinkle. Now, I love good non-toxic skincare. I love it. A serum with bakuchiol in there. Love that. I love I love taking care of what I have. But guys, I'm 60. I have gravity, 60 years of gravity. That's going to show. I'm going to use great skincare, but I'm not going to try and fill in and erase every wrinkle. I've earned them. I have earned every one of them. And when you go trying to erase them, what is the message you're sending? We don't have to fix every wrinkle. We can take care of ourselves and we can embrace what we have. We can embrace it. Your body changes as you get older. Things change. It's okay for them to change. I have to remind myself this every single day. This body I have, I'm going to love it while I continue to lift weights and make sure I walk every day and feed it healthy foods, and then let it do what it has to do to heal from years of cancer surgeries and trying to live without hormones and all the things that come with aging, which for me is having a whole lot less body parts inside. And it's been an amazing journey. And it's one that I've had to learn to take with grace, because sometimes I can look in the mirror pretty much every day, and my first reaction will be to tear apart what has happened to me from lymphedema and lipedema that came from surgeries. You know what? My arms still hug my grandchildren. My legs still walk with my dogs and my husband. My core holds me up, and my brain still thinks there is nothing wrong with this body I have. That is the message that I give myself now. I don't have to meet that impossible beauty standard. It's not possible for someone 20. It's not going to be possible for someone 60. Confidence at this age isn't pretending we're 25. It's about fully owning who we are. That is real confidence. That is beautiful, beautiful confidence. Confidence at this age isn't about attention anymore. It's about freedom. And that's the way it should be at any age. So give this podcast episode to all of your younger friends. You don't have to wait till you're midlife to have that confidence and freedom. It's the freedom to stop apologizing, stop shrinking, stop explaining yourself constantly. And honestly, that freedom is incredibly beautiful. It's incredibly beautiful. Stop apologizing. You're human. I mean, if you truly hurt someone, absolutely apologize. But stop apologizing for taking up space. Stop shrinking yourself. You don't have to explain yourself constantly. Someone asks you to do something, it's okay to say no. Thank you for the invitation, but no. You don't have to tell them why. It could be because you want to stay home in your pajamas and read a book. You have an appointment with yourself. You don't have to explain that. You just say, no, thank you. Freedom, that is beautiful. It's one of the greatest gifts women can give themselves, is this permission to become fully themselves. It's not edited. It's not really the acceptable version, but it is the real version, and it's incredible. Aging didn't make me smaller. It made me clearer. Oh, my voice is going. I think a lot of women are finally discovering that they were never too much. I was told when I was 13 that I was, quote unquote, too much. I was never too much. I was always exuberant. That's how God created me. Fun-loving, outgoing, exuberant. I was never too much. That person just couldn't accept how I showed up in life. Hopefully, he has evolved now. I'm never again going to try to fit inside a space that was created for me by somebody else. My creator put me here. That's the space I'm going to fill, and I deserve to fill that space, and so do you. Your journal prompt today is, who am I becoming now? Who am I becoming now that I no longer need outside approval for? Who am I becoming now that I no longer need outside approval for? And then explore this. What parts of myself did I shrink or hide in earlier seasons of my life? What feels more authentic to me now? And where do I still apologize for taking up space? Where does that come in? And how am I going to let that go? What would change in your life if you're fully, fully trusted yourself? I can't wait to hear your answers. I wish you would share them with me at CarrieVee at coachcarrievee.com, or you can find my email on my website, CarrieVee, that's CarrieVee.com. You can reach out to me on social media, on Instagram. It's at I am CarrieVee. Send me a message. I want to hear you. I want to hear your thoughts on this. This has been a freedom that has been incredible to embrace. And I hope that you are embracing it too. I am your biggest fan. I love you. Until next time, keep answering that question. If you fully stepped into your full potential, what would life look like?